Hello to my Leos. This is Queen Amun-Ra coming to you with your general reading, Leos. All right, happy new moon. Happy new moon to my Leos. This is Queen Amun-Ra coming to you with your general reading. New moon in Libra. We had a new moon in Libra on the 21st, and then it moved into Scorpio on the same day, right? When the moon moves into Scorpio from Libra, that's a great time to purge any toxic feminine energy within yourself, right? We all embody divine masculine and divine feminine energy. And so toxic feminine energy would be, and Scorpio would be anything that you feel that's in you that causes you to be jealous or secretive or obsessive, or even being connected to people who are like that, jealous, secretive, and obsessive, right? For any reason, right? People who like to play games, cause you to play games, like, oh, two can play that game. Oh, you doing this? Okay, so I'm doing that. If it's causing you all of that and it's just not a flow, it's time to release, to let it go, right? Flow, let it go. If it's not flowing, let it go in. Right, no, whatever. But y'all know what I'm saying. Like, that kind of thing. It's time to let it go. You want, at this point, somebody wants things to flow, in your life. The light side of Scorpio is being passionate, resourceful, and brave, right? Those are the energies that you want, in your life. People who are passionate, resourceful, and brave, pick a side, stand firm on some stuff, right? You all are your high frequency. At your highest frequency, you all are confident, charismatic, and generous. We don't need to talk about low vibrating Leos. It's a new day, right? You are trying to break some kind of cycle, chain, and curse. Scorpios rule 8th house. 8th house is all about intimacy and shared possessions. You are not trying to share. You're not trying to be intimate. You're not trying to possess anything. You're trying to break some kind of a chain of being connected to energies that are jealous or cause you to be jealous, secretive, or even obsessive. You're trying to break those chains, right? So we're in the year 9, 2025. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. So you don't want those. Scorpio is a water sign. You want things to flow. You don't want any blockages. Feminine energy is receiving energy. We are constantly in sending and receiving mode, right? So your sign is a sender sign or sending sign. That's the product of something. A receiving is receiving. So think of it this way. If I had to say it sort of in lay terms, you're receiving something. Let's say you receive groceries, right? You get package delivered to your home of like groceries to your home, right? You receive that, right? Paid for, you received it, right? So you bring it into your home. Okay, you prepare it. The product of that, the outcome would be the masculine part, right? So we're always in receiving and sending. You receive how somebody says something, how you respond to it, even if there's no response, is the outcome. That's the masculine part. That's the masculine side, right? No response is a response, right? So sometimes a look is a response. Sometimes an eyebrow raise is a response. Sometimes like sucking your teeth, that's a response. Sometimes a tuh, that's a response, right? That's the masculine side of it, right? Sometimes a shaking your head or looking at somebody sideways is a response, right? That's a response, right? You communicated something, right? That's a response, right? Sometimes putting your finger up like that is a response. Like I'm thinking about the Martin show. What's your name? Let's get into your reading. Let's get right into your reading. You know what I'm hearing for you all is my best friend's wedding. I always pray over cards before y'all remember the movie? I want to say it came out in 1997 with Julia Roberts and Cameron Diaz. My best friend's wedding with Julia Roberts' best friend, very wealthy guy, was getting married, and the best friend was trying to sabotage the wedding. I am safe and protected, right? So think of the number 8. It looks like the infinity symbol, right? So some people will try to link up with you to make you feel unprotected and unsafe, right? And so, but the I am is source. That's the creator, the higher power. And so some people, being around some people, make you feel unsafe and unprotected, right? In the spiritual realm. But Source is saying that you are safe and that you are protected. Source is making sure you have people around you that make you feel safe. Make sure that you're safe and protected, meaning that you have prayer warriors around you. All right. But I'm hearing my best friend's wedding. Somebody's getting married. I hear your money growing. But you're breaking some kind of chain with some energies. Breaking a chain with some energies. Because this spirit is not... I feel like there's some energies around you as your spirit is growing. As your spirit is growing, whoever you are in the spiritual realm, as it's becoming stronger. What I'm hearing for you all, Leos, is as your spiritual walk is becoming stronger, it's almost like people want you to get good, but just not as good as they are. And there is no, we're not each other's gods, right? There's no competition. There's no competition, right? This is what makes you stand out. Your compassion. This is a current situation right here. Your compassion. You have to really pour into yourself. Source wants you to live a softer life. This is what makes you stand out. Compassion. Your water. This is where you really want to get into. Remember, it's genderless in tarot, but this is what really makes you stand out is compassion. Really pour into you like never before, for real. We're in new moon phase. We just left a last quarter moon phase, and we had a full hunter's moon, right? It was a cold moon, right? Some people are cold as ice. They're cold as ice. They can't even see how it divides energies. They just cold as ice, right? We're seeing that a lot on social media is like how, some people, they can't even see how, like, just kind of like being part of a team, just making cold comments about a team. You can't even see a team win because you got somebody just trying to divide people. You got certain people that they can't help it. They just got just a divisive energy, right? And so Source is just trying to tell you, Source, is in the midst of this right here. Source is in the midst of this right here, making you feel safe and making you feel protected. You have some prayer warriors around you, whoever you are, that's showing you some compassion and really encouraging you to pour into yourself, like really encouraging you to have divine feminine energy, like really tap into that part of yourself. Because right before the moon moves into Scorpio, we had a new moon in Libra. Libra rules 7th house. Remember, you all rule 5th house, right? So you're taking a gamble on something. You're really taking a gamble on something and learning how to kind of sort of, come out of this lion energy, this overly masculine, I'm about to pounce on something kind of energy, right? And so 7th house is a house of relationships. It's the house of, traditionally it denotes marriage and partnerships, but also the idea of open enemies, quarrels, and disputes. It's the house of contractual partnerships, but also litigation. A deeper look reveals interesting links between these two. So it's the house of projection, the other half, relationships, open enemies. And so sometimes it's hard just to know the difference between toxic feminine and divine feminine, right? So you also got to know if you're a man, you got to know what your moon sign is to know exactly what nurtures you, right? We're not talking about just sex, right? Even if you're a woman, it can't be just sex. It has to be what exactly nurtures you, and can you communicate that in all relationships, right? All of your relationship, platonic and otherwise, what nurtures you, right? What really nurtures you, because you got to be able to communicate that to people. Like honestly, what nurtures you, right? So that, like, if you hear people talk about their person, you got to make sure that when you're speaking highly of your person, even when they're not around, that you got to make sure that when word gets back to you, you're not hearing that they're saying taking little pot shots about you behind your back. The challenge is Eight of Pentacles here, right? Challenge is that you could be a person who's mastered something. That's the challenge. You could master like being a person who works from home, right? Yeah. And so when you're a person who works from home, you don't really know. You could be a homebody. You could really be a homebody. So you could be like, the challenge could be like, you really like being at home. Like you could really be a person that likes to focus, like literally like to focus, like not necessarily being so money driven that you're not focused on anything else, but your focus could be like on your because 8 is a money exchange number. So you could be a person who is single, right? Making money by yourself, right? And you could have been in a karmic relationship. The dark side of 8 is being in a relationship with somebody who is either succumb to passive and powerless behavior or egotistical, materialistic, and forceful, right? So when you hear people say that about other people, that they're materialistic, forceful, or they succumb to passive and powerless behavior, so it's like you don't really know what to believe. But that's what prayer is for, right? That's what prayer is for, because that's the reason why some people go into hermit mode. They focus on their own independence. They're like, you know what? Let me just get focused. Right? And work on their stuff by themselves because of what they heard, right? So the source is saying to you, and that's what's coming through real heavy, a relationship for you all. So some of you all are already married. Some of you all are seriously thinking about, getting married and feeling safe and protected. But source is saying you're getting to the root of something, right? Here's the 8 of Pentacles. So before 8, you got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or Ace of Pentacles. It's time to get to the root of something. Time for you to get to the root of something. And that's what prayer is for. You're getting to the root of something. Somebody is like really, really focused. Right? Here we have the Moon card. Right? So something is at the end. Something has come to an end. Right? The past is behind. But somebody's trying to get to an end of a dream that they had. Because somebody has mastered this. And somebody is like, trying to get to like, okay, I had a dream about something. Somebody's like, child, these dreams will send you. Right. But yeah, somebody has mastered something. And so you're safe and protected. You're safe. Something has come to an end. Somebody's still trying to wrap their head around a dream that they had. But you're safe. Something has come to an end. Right. Here's a Magician card here. Something has been very confusing for you. A communication was sent to you, but something has been very, very confusing. Somebody wanted to show you something through a dream. So the best way I can describe this for somebody is if you all knew, the movie A Christmas Carol with Ebenezer Scrooge, right? Someone has mastered being able, I know, it sounds just like a movie, right? But someone has mastered being able to show you your past, your present, and your future, right? Just through, just like the movie, right? To show you this is what your past was, this is your present, and this is what your future is going to look like. With possibly with as a couple, right? Possibly with an energy with a couple, right? As a couple, right? And again, you're safe and protected, but something has come to an end. Something has come to an end. Here we had a Page of Swords. but it was just a message for you. So you got the message loud and clear. Message loud and clear. So you don't have to walk on eggshells because you got the message loud and clear. If somebody was an open book, you got the message loud and clear. You got the message through a dream, through a download. But somebody was walking you through from astral projection, because that's what it is, astral projection through a dream, so that you could see something in a dream, because you opened up a portal. Usually how you could open up a portal is through being online. This person looks like they were online. You could have opened up a portal online. But something is over. You don't have anything to worry about. Here's the King of Cups here. Somebody thinks that you're an excellent parent, whoever you are. Yeah, somebody thinks that you're an excellent parent. But you're getting a message from an air sign that you should pay attention to. You're getting a message from an air sign, someone who's related to you, right? And they are giving you a message. They're giving you access to a secret that they are aware. Somebody that you're related to, Leo, that is an air sign. They're giving you access to someone's past. But somebody else had to open up a door in the spiritual realm. Okay, let me see if I can explain this to you. Someone in your family who is an air sign, who is younger than you are. Another air sign had to reach out to somebody who's an air sign in your family, okay? They first have to be open to the spirit realm. That's first, okay? But somebody else reached out to in the spirit realm. So your person, this is your family member, this younger person in your family, Leo, had to tell you something in secret. But first you had to see something online, right? You had to get focused with something online. Someone's compassion brought you in, right? So you have somebody in your family, you have someone in your family who is very compassionate. Their compassion is overwhelming for you. Like you love somebody real deep in your family, right? Somebody's compassion is real deep for you. That you would master something for them, okay, Leos? So you love them real deep. Like you would go to the ends of the world for them. This person in your family, you love them real deep. That's how compassionate they have been for you. So you mastered something, right? That's the beauty of answering the call on your life, that you'll say, okay, I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth for this person. I'm gonna work 8, 10, 16 hours, 24 hours if I need to make sure this person had what they have, right? Sometimes you do that for your mom, your dad, whoever, kids, whoever, but usually it's usually for a parent, a grandparent, somebody. So whoever it is you mastered this for, somebody else feels that way about you, right? But this person also has to be open to learning in the spiritual realm. So a gift was passed down to this air sign in your family. They had to be open to learning about their psychic gifts. So you never know who's watching whom online, right? So they may have been watching someone online themselves, right? So just because they're watching someone online themselves, that made them open, because they haven't gotten to a point of knowing how to close off portals yet. So just from them watching online, somebody was able to get through a message through to them, to show them something through somebody's past. They're trying to get a message through to you all, Leos. So you all need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. Nine of Wands here. They're trying to help you raise your awareness, because it looks like somebody's a great parent. Somebody is really, really a great parent. Sometimes when, parents are just kind of like, you could be a homebody yourself because you could be a star. See all these stars in the sky here? You could be a big star, right? Like the sun right here, because the sun illuminates the moon. So you could be a big star. And the sun is a star, but you could be the biggest star, right? Where you are the most vulnerable, right? And your kids could be little stars. You know what I'm saying? Like they could be upcoming stars, up and coming stars, right? There's an air sign here that is open to receiving messages. So they're coming up in the spiritual realm, right? And so somebody who is not afraid to go deep, somebody's not afraid to go deep, 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 right? Take it all the way down to the flow and say, hey, look at this, right? Because again, you got to be able to have some people who take some things all the way down to the lowest frequency, someone who has mastered what they do. Yeah, come take a look at this. Somebody come take a look at this. Right? And so because somebody knows that you're an excellent father, this is just like you would go work 16 hours for somebody. Somebody says, hey, come look at this. Right? Come look at this. Somebody had to take a young person with you that would do the same thing for you. They would literally work 24 hours for you, Leo, whoever you are. To make sure, because they feel the same way about you. Same way you felt about somebody that would work 24 hours a day for you, to make sure you had what you needed so that you can become the sun, the star, the big star. Somebody would do the same thing for you. This is their way of giving back to you so that you would never have to go back. This right here. This is legacy. Right? So you are the Hierophant. You are the Hierophant. You have an innate spiritual understanding. You hold the key. You hold the key right here. You hold the key. So this is how somebody understands the passion of answering the call in your life, right? When we talk about 9th house, 10th house is vocation. That's answering the call in your life, vocation and career. When you at your 9th house and you on your way to your 10th house, you're like, okay, I'm not going back. I'm determined to answer the call in my life. That means even if everybody in the world think you crazy, they could think you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But if Source called you to it, you're like, okay, you so locked in and laser focused. Everybody could think that you look crazier than you'll sit there and study it. Like you'll sit there and study it. Like you're gonna learn it. You're going to study it, you're going to learn it, you're going to master it. And so Source says, okay, when it's time to close it out, you're going to close it out in love. Because that's who you're a cheerful giver. You're a cheerful giver. That makes you the Hierophant. You have an innate spiritual understanding of both sides, the material world. And so some people just do it for money, and some people just have an innate spiritual understanding because they realize they hold the key. They hold the key. Nobody else holds the key. So somebody is getting the message. Somebody is getting the message. And there's a young person. There's another little fire sign. This right here, fire energy right here. They're getting the message. See, one thing could bring you to, see, water is variety, right? That's sacral chakra. So one thing could bring you to looking at something online. Sex could bring you to looking at something online. Someone's gifts and talents, creativity, because that's sacral chakra. That's a variety, right? Sex could be one thing. You could think somebody's attractive. You could think somebody is very compassionate, does all that. You could think somebody is great at playing an instrument. You could think somebody has great toes, lovely eyelashes, a nice hairline. I mean, whatever. Another person's motivation could be totally different. Another person's motivation could be like, this person's incredibly smart. This person, I love this person. It could be that they have something in common. It could be the same zodiac sign. Oh, they speak highly of my zodiac sign. Yeah, we are like that, right? We are kind of like that. We do say stuff, we are like that, right? when they could have been hearing horrible things about their zodiac sign. So people's motivation are different, right, for tuning into people, right? But the main thing is that people want people who see the God in them, seeing God or the Savior or higher power in them, right? People want to be encouraged, right? People don't want to be left behind. They want people to come down to the lowest of low, to be picked back up. They want people to shine a light on, not be so high up here that you forget the people that's down here. So you are the higher fund. You hold the key. This young person, whoever this is here, who this could be somebody's child or grandchild or whoever this could be, whoever this is, somebody is now paying attention. Somebody is now paying attention because somebody ain't going back. In the spiritual realm, somebody is not going back. So whoever this air sign is in someone's family, they now are learning, they're now determined to learn how to astral project because they definitely not going back. They're really starting to really focus on their craft because they're like, nah, they're not going back. They are not going back to messing up their legacy. They like, no, we building legacy here. We building legacy. This is not like it's not about building a church or mosque or temple. That may be somebody's calling. There could be somebody's calling. But in the spiritual realm, somebody is so tapped in spiritually. They're like, no, we're going to learn this. We're going to learn it. We're going to grow. And we want to learn from people who have mastered it. Here we have the Four of Pentacles here. Yeah, so somebody can be more conservative with their time. Yeah, here we have the King of Pentacles here. Yeah, being more conservative with their time. So when I see somebody getting married, somebody is talking about linking up with people who have mastered something. That's why it's so important. It's like you're linking up with people who have mastered it, people who are passionate about it. Because some people are not going back. They're not going back. They're not going back to where people who are not passionate about it. That's when we talk about the number 8. You're linking up with people who are passionate about it, what they're doing. Here's a Page of Cups. So somebody's starting to get the message. How deep something runs. Deep as the ocean for some people. You can't pretend. You cannot you can't cloak in somebody else's energy. You can't pretend. I mean, you really can. You can't cloak in somebody else's energy. You can't say that you love something. That's like saying, never mind. Never mind. I was ready to say something. Nope. No, never learn. Let me leave it alone. Yeah. So somebody has been gifted something. Yeah, I was going to say something about my team, but I'm y'all look. People gonna stop playing in my team's face. I'm serious, y'all. They gonna stop. They gonna stop, y'all. They are going to stop. So anyway, let's focus on this. Let's focus. Let's all collect ourselves. Let's all focus. Let's focus, y'all. Let's get into it. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying here. Like somebody, when you've been given a gift, you so grateful to source. Like you really want to be a cheerful giver to source. So you gotta be passionate enough. Like people got people spiritually, for real, in low places. Like people, and I say low places, I'm like people who are not afraid to take it all the way down to the low places spiritually. Like it's almost like, what I'm saying, like Ebenezer Scrooge in the Christmas Carol, when like the ghost of Christmas past, like somebody who's like, okay, let's look back, right? Because everybody has a past, but some people would die of shame if people knew what their past was. Like, oh my God, and I'm talking about past lives. We're talking about family past lives. Oh my God, some people were like, oh, they only want you to know, okay, that they nouveau rich. Somebody just hit the lottery. Right? So somebody wants to call you, but they haven't changed. Yeah, so more money is coming soon. Right? So I feel like you're a star. Like I said, the sun is a big star. Right? So here we have your gifts have increased. So your ancestors have a message. So it's not as deep as you think, meaning that you don't have to look that far. That's what it is. It's not as deep as you think because you don't really have to look that far. Like everybody literally has a past. Some people are first generation rich, right? Some people are rich in their gifts. Some people are, somebody had to break a generational cycle chain and curse. And that's why some people are like, they locked in and laser focused. They don't want somebody else's money. They like, okay, that's nice. You doing you, they doing them. They are focused on, hey, look, they're going to master their stuff. Right? That's why you have some people, Leos, that's why you have some people. It's hard for them to talk about what their ancestors went through. I mean, it's hard for them to really feel what their ancestors went through because they're so busy turning their nose up at other people, right? They'll talk about it. Here we have, at what age did your parents work on their shadow self? But they don't really feel it. So you won't be returning some people's calls, right? I see you praying and meditating. They don't really feel it. So somebody's in a crisis right now. Follow your heart. The best is yet to come. Everything in moderation. Take a leap of faith. Somebody's still telling lies about you, but child, you don't care. Whatever. Yeah, but you're safe and protected. But just know that you have an air sign that is they are committed to learning something spiritually because they are very passionate. They're very passionate about legacy. Very, very passionate. So you will be sitting yourself down and making a list of pros and cons because you're not playing. The healer and protector of travelers is with you. But yeah, somebody is be watching. What came to me was that movie, My Best Friend's Wedding, because which is a funny movie, by the way. But yeah, somebody is at the helm of your legacy. Here is compassion. That's the helm of your legacy here, because somebody very, very compassionate showed you some compassion. It's like it goes against whoever I'm talking about. It goes against everything that you're about, not to be compassionate towards people. It feels strange to you not to be compassionate. So when you come up against, when you are connected to cold-hearted spirits, whoever you are, it's just like I don't feel safe around energies like that. I don't feel protected. I don't like making people feel that way. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. I'm trying to see what else. Yeah, so here's clarity here. So right action. So let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. So, like I said, you have an air sign in your family that has a very powerful message for you, but you are awakening. Yeah, oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. They're trying to tell you something. Somebody need to be listening, paying attention. You're going to pay something. You pay attention now or you pay later. That's what I have for you. Bye.